From Creamer Media in Johannesburg, this is the Real Economy Report. Our top stories this week. The local diamond industry needs a skills rethink. We have a look at the latest product development from heavy lifting contractor, the Sarens Group. And the Legacy Group's latest hotel development, the Vinci Hotel, goes solar. Luxury diamond and jewelry brand African Romance says that the local diamond industry needs a skills rethink. Jonathan Fourie has the story.
African Romance CEO Maxine Musa reports that although the local diamond industry is well established, it can improve to compete with the best industries in the world.
So we do think that the industry as a whole needs to sit down and look at the skill sets available if we want to build the sector, if we want to go downstream raw materials, build the beneficiation sector in South Africa, then it's critical that we develop colleges, schools, universities with diamond polishing and design skill sets that will compete amongst the best in the world. We're not going to be a world-class sector in South Africa without world-class skill sets. And the only way we're going to achieve that is if both the industry, government, and institutions who are involved in these skill sets work together to churn out some of the best skills in the world.
The Sarens Group is developing a giant crane in-house in answer to the industry trend of building bigger modules, which are more complex to lift. Petronelle Smith reports.
Higher capacity cranes are the future of the lifting industry as loads are getting heavier and solutions are becoming more complex. Sarens' global CEO, Wim Sarens, tells us more about the company's latest development, the giant crane.
So, Sarens is a heavy lift contractor, and what we typically notice in our industry that weights are always becoming bigger, the loads that need to be lifted are becoming heavier, so the solutions become more complex. The latest technology that we are developing in-house is our own Sarens giant crane. It's a 120,000 ton meter crane, which means that it should roughly be able to lift up 3,000 ton at a radius of 40 meters. Where do we see this being used is in the new nuclear builds, the new petrochemical builds, and eventually also in these modularized mining establishments.
Sarens says that the outlook for the crane industry is positive, although developed markets are experiencing some challenges.
We see a difference between the developed markets and the developing markets. In the developed markets, we still see that there is an abundance of supply of equipment and lower prices, so the industry is going through a rough time. On the other hand, the developing markets are really picking up. They're also riding on this curve of always heavier and bigger, so the demand for this bigger equipment is definitely on the rise.
There is a rooftop in the Sandton CBD that looks very different from the rest. It is the Legacy Group's latest hotel development, the Vinci Hotel, and it boasts a 117-panel commercial solar water heating installation.
The system was installed by Kayema Energy Solutions and has the capacity to heat some 20,000 litres of water.
The system produces about 500,000 kilowatt hours per year. And depending on the rate of electricity, right now what we're talking about, a blended price, considering the recent increases from NERSA, let's just say it's R1 per kilowatt hour. It's about 500,000 Rand per year.
The dimensions of the roof pose some significant challenges.
There were certain issues such as fire escape routes across the roof, such as stands, such as things which each one presents its own problem, and it's exciting to solve it, and you come up with a solution for each one.
In terms of payback, in terms of upfront investment versus the payback, it depends on obviously the efficiency and how it's operated, but we're aiming to get a return, a payback of between 7 and 10 years. Again, this depends on the price of electricity. For a private developer, it's still a tough decision. We need to reduce that to around 3 to 5 years, and that's the gap that we're working very hard to, working with Eskom and the regulator to reduce that return on investment.
Once again, Eskom are coming to the party. They are working on a commercial rebate for projects.
Mm-hmm. The other issue is cost of capital, because these businesses are very much bank financed. So the banks really need to look at it from their perspective, and that's why having that long-term financing in place is key. We do have those relationships. We can offer that type of service. So we come with not just technology and know-how, but we also with the whole package, the financing around it as well.
And what about the skills to install these systems?
Private companies in South Africa will mobilize and will move very, very quickly once funds are made available, or once there's a guarantee that the work can happen. They will develop the skills.
If the regulation is in place, if the demand is there, then the skills will come into it. And the capital will come in as well. The capital will be there. The banks are ready to go forward. As long as there's certainty on a long-term scale that the economics make sense.
And now for a sneak preview of this week's Engineering News magazine. In this week's cover story, we report that several African states are actively preparing to join the Nuclear Energy Club. We report that the bulk of the 52 billion rand railway spend will be directed towards rolling stock. And South Africa is confirmed as a partner country in Brazil's new aviation program. And in Mining Weekly this week, our cover story highlights how, after last year's scramble to strengthen balance sheets, a merger and acquisition whirl has returned to the mining space. Fledgling gold mining company Aurora Empowerment Systems is suffering strain, leading to thousands of workers going on strike. And we report that diamond-focused jewellery company African Romance grew by 300% during the economic crisis. That's Creamer Media's Real Economy Report. Join us again next week for more news and insights into South Africa's real economy.